Welcome back guys to the channel. It's been a while since I uploaded something proper, but I've been wanting to unbox this, this giant lot that I got on eBay. It's just a bunch of army men. I know I did say that I'm going to stop collecting them for the meantime, but when you find something too good to pass up, you just have to buy it because you'll miss your opportunity, and that's essentially what I've done here. I was just scrolling on eBay one day and I was like, well, I'm not passing up this lot because it's too good to pass up. So, yeah, we're going to be unboxing it. It's a pretty big lot. Definitely the biggest lot that I've ever bought. And, yeah, we'll take a look at what's inside. Alright, so, sneak peek, I guess. This is what is inside. It's a lot of stuff, as you can see. Now, some of the items are broken, but I'm sure I could find a way to fix those. As you can see, we got some cannons here, some artillery, whatever you want to call this. We also have these Bradley IFVs. Now, I actually had some of these when I was a kid, so it's kind of cool to see these again and to have some of them. I haven't really been able to find them ever since, and yeah, it's just nice to have these back in the collection. It's kind of cool how the back opens up. There's some good utility here, some good things I could use for stop motion if needed, and yeah, it's quite cool overall. We also have a bunch of tanks. Now, these are mainly the Centurion or Centurion, however you want to pronounce it. I've already got a few of these, but they are broken, so I'm glad I found some new ones. As you can see, I'm trying to get this bag out, struggling a little bit. Here we just have a bunch of green army men. These are the Airfix British paratrooper knockoffs. These are quite common, at least where I am from. I know some places they're kind of rare to find. We also have a grey version of the Bradley, which is also pretty nice. This would be good to add to my grey collection. Since my grey army mainly consists of just Airfix and like model kit tanks, I guess. So it's nice to have some of this cheaper stuff to bulk up the forces a little. Now we also have some of these catapults, and we have an aircraft there. But yeah, we have some medieval stuff, which is interesting. Apologies for the airplane outside. I live near an airport, so you know they do pass by quite often. We also have another grey tank here. This is pretty cool. It's interesting design. We have another one of these Bradleys. The turret is broken on it, but I'm sure I could find a way to sort of fix that to some extent. And of course the back is open, but I will admit these are kind of difficult to get into place, although I did it relatively quick that time. Next up we have all of the terrain. It's mainly just tents and barricades, flags, barbed wire, all that sort of stuff. Nothing that interesting, but you know, it's nice to have some spares as always. The artillery, would chuck that out. And then we have the medieval figures, which are pretty cool, pretty interesting. I have used these before in a stop motion, but yeah, they're cool to have. Then we have the grey army men. Now, some of these have paint on them, but the good thing about this is it will bulk up my army. A lot of my grey army is just Airfix, so it's good to have a lot of this cheap stuff that I can just throw in between, so it's nice to have that. Then we have a bunch of cheap army men. No one really cares about these, so they'll just be used as dead bodies and things like that in my stop motions. We have a couple more tanks. This one is a very, very dark green, and we have a grey one with no turret, sadly. We also have this, which is an interesting mix. These appear to be pirates of some sort and something else, but yeah, these are interesting. I could probably use these in the plastic Warzone videos, but yeah, we'll put those aside also. And then we have the Tans, which you know, nice to have also. I have been running out of these, well, these type of Tans in particular, the British Airfix knockoffs, and yeah, it's good to have the army bulked up again. And then here we have some cowboys and Native Americans, I think that's what it appears to be, which is cool. And then next we have some aircraft. Nothing too crazy, but yeah, just some just some aircraft. And then we have some Airfix figures. Now, the unfortunate thing about these Airfix figures is they have paint on them. Well, most of them have paint on them anyway, so I don't really have much use for those. I might sell them at some point. Some of this stuff will probably end up getting sold on my Etsy page. I am still selling stuff over at Etsy. If you want to go buy some of my collection, you can do that. Some of this will probably get put up as well at some points. But yeah, that is this stuff. I am also trying to figure out how to ship worldwide, so keep an eye on that. I will let you guys know how that goes, and you'll be able to buy some of this stuff shipped to your country, because I know it's kind of hard to find army men in specific regions. So, you know, if I can ship out to other countries, that would be pretty good. So we have all of the vehicles. We just take the camera off the mount here. As you can see, we have the green vehicles here, some mix of Centurions and some of those small Jeeps. There's also a Jeep with a turret on it. And we have the two Bradley IFVs in the back. We also have the grey vehicles here on the left of a Bradley. We have some tan vehicles. They are yellow, but I'm just referring to them as tans because that's what most of us do refer to them as. We also have the artillery pieces down here, and they do have wheels on them. So yeah, that is all of that. There's also a blue tank on the left, but it's just a Centurion painted blue. The tracks are green on it, so don't know how I would use that in a video, but I'll probably figure some way out. Now we have the greys here. Now a lot of you guys probably already know what these look like, so not really a whole lot I can do to go in depth on these poses here. You guys have all seen these before. They are the classic British Airfix knockoffs, and yeah, they are relatively easy to find and very well known. So yeah, that is those, I suppose. We also have this bazooka guy. He appears to be a Timmy knockoff. And yeah, this is all the other stuff inside there. There's a black army man. He's painted, I think. And yeah, we've got some of these shooting poses. And yeah, it's just a decent mix of random stuff overall. Some of them are painted, which is unfortunate. But most of them are good to go. And they will probably be used in an upcoming stop motion at some point. But, you know, we'll see what happens with that. Now next on the list we have the greens. Let's get some of these out. Now I do apologize, I can't really go that much in depth as to what these are. You guys all know what these are already, and you've seen me unbox these type of stuff millions of times, but you know, I'll set some of them up and take a look. There's a nice variety in color here. Some of them are darker and brighter, so that is cool. It's nice to have some variety in your army, especially when it comes to stop motion. Kind of gives a bit of identity to each soldier, I suppose. But yeah, that is all the greens in there. There's quite a lot of them. There's also some true heroes on the left side that are mixed in, and some other random brands. But yeah, that is all of the greens. And of course we have the tans, or the yellows. Now we can get these out. Again, there's nothing I can really add on to these, but it's nice to have some more of these guys, considering I was running out. Some of them had been broken and all that stuff. But yeah, it's good to have some more of these guys. You see, made in China, the British paratrooper knockoffs. Very classic army men. I think most of us had these when we were kids. And you know, we've got some true heroes here on the left. I believe they're true heroes. They might be. There's this other brand that's going around on Amazon that kind of looks like True Heroes. It could be those, but I'm pretty sure it's True Heroes over there. Now, up next, we have the medieval figures, I believe. Now, these guys are pretty interesting looking. I did have some of these when I was a kid. I bought this like castle set which was pretty cool. I'm not entirely sure what happened to those, but it's good to have some of these again. And some of them are shiny, some of them aren't. We also have a horse here, which is pretty interesting. Now, you guys have seen these used before in my Plastic Warzone series. I'll put a clip up on the screen whilst we take a look through these here. Alright, so up next we have the Native Americans and the Cowboys. So let's get some of these guys out, we'll take a look. Now these are some interesting poses. These are, I can go a bit more in depth on these ones compared to the other ones. But yeah, they got some interesting poses in here. I like this guy here with a 6-shooter, or whatever he has. There's some nice variety in the colours for the army men. There's also this guy who's had his hands chopped off. I assume he had a gun at some point, but, things get broken. And yeah, we have some Native Americans. We also have this guy, which looks pretty interesting. I'm not entirely sure what he's holding there, but it does look pretty cool. And yeah, that is all of the stuff there. There's some interesting poses. Now, up next, we have the pirates, I believe. These look like pirates. I'm not entirely sure what these guys are. I've never seen these before. I assume they're also some sort of pirates, but yeah, I'm not really sure on that. We've got some red pirates here, some light blue, some yellow, and yeah, these guys here, I assume they're pirates based on the stuff they're wearing and their weapons and the eye patches, but yeah, I've never seen these before. They do look really odd, to say the least. And yeah, I don't know how I would use these in a stop motion, but I'm sure I could find something to put them in. But we'll find out. Then we have the cheap army men. No one cares about these, so I'm just going to throw these aside and move on to the next thing. The next thing is the airplanes, or the aircraft. We have a few planes here. We have this old World War II propeller looking plane. It's not crazy detailed, it's definitely very cheap, as you can see. We have a helicopter here. Unfortunately, the propellers are gone, and or the rotors, whatever you want to call it. And we also have this plane here. So yeah, some interesting stuff. I never really end up using these in stop motions, but maybe at some point we will. And then finally we have the airfix. Now, like mentioned earlier, the unfortunate thing about these airfix is there's paint on them. And you guys already know, if there's paint on army men, I don't use them in my stop motions because it kind of ruins the the whole aesthetic of the colours versus colours, blues, greens, tans, greys, whatever. If there's a grey army man running around with black paint on it, or a green army man running around with black paint, it kind of just takes away from the similarity of all the other troops. So yeah, I won't have any use for those really. Here we have the barricades, the tents, barbed wire, things like that. There's this missile pod thing in here, and yeah, I mean, there's not really a whole lot I could talk about here. It is just some basic terrain, and yeah, that is that. So guys, that is everything in the lot. It was a pretty big lot, definitely the biggest I've had. Sorry I didn't go through everything and unbox every single thing like I usually do. There's just a lot of stuff here, and if I'm honest, I really didn't feel like going through all of it. So yeah, that is all of the stuff. Some pretty cool finds. Now guys, before we end the video, I want to remind you all that I am hosting a stop motion contest, and you have the chance to win 3 army men. Sponsored by Toy Soldier Central. The idea was brought up that we could potentially do a collaboration for a stop motion contest, and you guys can have the chance to win what you're seeing on screen right now, including worldwide shipping and completely free of charge, shipped straight to your door. So if you want the chance to win some army men, all you have to do is join the contest and submit a 1-minute stop motion, and you could win some really cool army men. So thanks to Toy Soldier Central, guys, take part in the contest. So that is all guys, I hope you did all enjoy. Good luck to everyone taking part in the stop motion contest, and yeah, I'll see you lot in the next one. Take care.